something that helped me stage my lesson was a theoretical framework, which I will show you now. It starts with awareness, the student identifying elements of a specific text type. How is this specific text type organized and what language is used? Followed by support from the teacher. The teacher needs to help students clarify and consolidate this new knowledge that they gained. Then a chance to practice. Write. Get some feedback from the teacher. And when we say feedback, it could be on spelling, punctuation, but more importantly, language. Is it accurate? Are they using the right collocation? Did they say, I lost the bus instead of I missed the bus? Is it appropriate? Are they ending a business email by saying big hugs instead of best regards or something similar? Are they using the right linkers? In addition to, however, to show this relationship between sentences and paragraphs. How is the text organized? Is it properly organized? There's something missing. And finally, is the message clear, what the writer is trying to convey? Is it clear or not? So we can give some feedback, make some comments on these, and then give students another chance to practice and perhaps get more feedback, but not just from the teacher, also from their peers or even themselves. How can they get feedback from themselves? You may ask yourself. You will see in the next slides. So you can see here on the left, the theoretical framework that I mentioned previously. And on the right, we can see the stages. Peer feedback. Yes, Laura. You can see the stages on the right, and let's have a look at them one at a time. Please don't read the whole text immediately. So awareness. First, the teacher selects the genre they want to teach. Is it an essay? Is it an article? What will it be? Not just teaching writing in general. If you like, you can use a flipped approach. You give students a model text to read for homework. You give them an essay if you plan to teach an essay, right? They read it carefully, they have a lot of time, and they identify the organization and some language or linguistic features that are common, that appear frequently perhaps, or that they noticed. So this is the awareness part. Then when they come to class, support from you. You can have this in plenary mode and elicit. All right, everyone. So what did you think about the text? How was it organized? Can I hear some ideas? Or what language did the writer use? What did you notice? So at this stage, you're eliciting and you can confirm right answers. And if they make any mistakes, you might need to give some input. You might need to tell them something that they didn't notice. There's nothing wrong with that. Next, practice. You give them a topic and there we go. Open the Jamboard. They start brainstorming ideas. The topic is recycling. Let's brainstorm some words or phrases that we can use. They start typing, plastic, cardboard, green bin or something. So then these ideas appear on the Jamboard. When you send them to breakout rooms, as we said, in groups or individually, they can have a link to a Google document. And what I usually do, I ask them to do quick writing. Quick writing is, don't worry about accuracy. Spend the first 5 or 10 minutes just putting your ideas, on paper, just all the content that you want to use. What ideas did you like from the Jamboard? What would you write? What kind of sentences would you construct? So just quickly think about that. And then when you finish, you can start, editing and making changes. After this first quick writing stage, I would jump in and give some feedback. For example, enter the breakout room and I could tell them, but before I say that, let me explain what reactive feedback is in case it's not clear. I have not planned that feedback because I don't know what students will write. I will give feedback based on what students produce, right? So anything that I believe needs some clarification or they need to change, I will tell them how to do it perhaps. But I haven't planned that because I don't know what students will produce. So we can do that privately. Enter the breakout room. Hi, guys, great job. I just need to show you a few things that you need to change, 1, 2, 3. Or you can even do that by writing a comment. Google Docs gives you that. There is the comment feature for everyone who has a link to their document. Or in plenary, you close breakout rooms. Everyone comes to the main session. Great job, everyone. Here are a few things I noticed. 1, 2, 3, again, anonymously. So they don't feel intimidated or embarrassed or anything. Then they go back to the breakout room, start working on their essay again. More practice, revising, refining, making changes. And finally, more feedback if you like. You can monitor again and leave a comment, or you can give them a checklist and they can check for themselves. I'm going to show you an example, one that I have created and was published in IATEFL Voices. I used it for my B2 learners. They were studying for the Cambridge First Certificate exam, and they had to write an essay, of course. So I created this essay writing checklist. There were some elements, they had to read them, check if they'd included them, and then tick the boxes. You can see, for example, about organization, about the style or grammatical forms, discourse markers, even if they had reread it to identify mistakes, because I wanted to turn proofreading into a habit, right? They often just wrote something quickly and just submitted it. Even the word limit, have I exceeded the word limit, or have I written between 140, etc.? So that was there as a reminder. And if you use that, if you write and create your own checklist on Word, for example, Microsoft Word, you can even personalize it for each student. So maybe Maria is quite good at choosing the right style, so I won't include that section, right? So I'll just get her to focus on her weaknesses, perhaps on the things that she usually neglects. But of course, that's a suggestion. You can just use the same checklist with all students. Now, if it's not the teacher's problem, but the student's problem, and they're not really motivated to write, it's probably because writing can be a mechanical exercise. We ask them to write just for the teacher to read and grade, which is not authentic. And of course, it's not motivating. We would like writing to fulfill some real communicative purpose for a real audience, right? So how can we do that? When I taught face-to-face in Spain, I involved my students into creating a magazine, a school magazine, and they were responsible for everything, writing the content, the artwork. They loved it, and they couldn't wait actually to write a post for that magazine. But of course, when we're teaching online, what can we do? We might have a school blog, or we might create one. There's a lot of pages where we can do that for free, and we can manage it as teachers so that we make sure we also filter the content. Or maybe they have a social media page. A lot of schools have a Facebook page or something different. So it would be quite motivating if they were told that their work would be published. If not, they can always share their work on Padlet, and they can share it with their classmates. So their classmates can read each other's work and maybe comment on the content, have a little discussion or something like that. And this is something that I do a lot these days. Instead of the gallery walk that we used to have when we taught face-to-face, I don't know if it's something that you used to do, but I would put all the essays or the articles on the classroom walls. They would walk around, read them, and just then discuss what they liked and disliked, or what ideas they got from each other's writing. And it was nice because of that physical element, get up, stand up, move around. But unfortunately, we can't do that in the online classroom. But we have Padlet, and it's great. And you can upload everyone's work there, and they can leave a comment. They can say something, give each other peer feedback. However, I don't know if you've noticed that students can be a little critical when they give feedback, or they can be too positive, like, yeah, it's good, it's great. That's it. Or, oh, this is really wrong. You should have written this or that. So they need some help with giving the right, let's say, type of peer feedback. And I have found this quite helpful. Ethan Mansour introduced it in IATEFL Belfast a couple of years ago. It's from Project Zero, the Harvard website. And it suggests this, let's say, ladder of feedback, starting from clarify, ask questions to help you understand fully, then value, express what you like. I really like X because, then state your concerns. I wonder if it seems to me, or suggest, make a suggestion. Maybe you could, what if? So I believe this is quite helpful because in general, people need to give feedback in the workplace or at university when they study, perhaps. So it's useful to help them develop that skill. And if you introduce them to the lateral feedback and they can practice using it, maybe automatically, slowly they'll become better at doing it automatically, let's say, and write these comments on the Padlet. And that's it. They can post their writing on a Padlet. Padlet is a free tool, and you can just create it and give people access and also permission to edit it, like Jamboard, like Google Docs. And then they can just click on the plus sign and they can upload a text. They can upload a link, a video, a photo, a recording as well. So they can, if you are doing speaking classes, you can even ask them to record themselves, talk about a topic and do it for homework. But that's a topic for another session, maybe. So, yeah, I think that was it. So if you would like to reflect on whatever you liked or disliked from the session, if there's something you liked and you can use tomorrow and was clear and useful, you put it in your suitcase. Please write suitcase in the chat box and your reflection. If there was something you're not sure about, you need to still think about it, ask a colleague or read about it, you put it in the freezer. Write freezer in the chat and your reflection. And if there's something that really didn't help you, it's not relevant to your context maybe, or you don't understand it, I'm not sure. You can write bin and your reflection in the chat. Oh, okay.
Rachel, great. Rachel, thank you. Yes, and I was just going to refer to the chat, but I think you're ahead of me, so I'm just going to let you do that yourself.
No, please go ahead and I can have some water.
Yes, so that's true, actually. Thank you so much for the really lovely information. We have a question from Laura. Can you repeat where they can post their writing for others to leave feedback? I believe not when you were talking about Google Doc, but
yeah, that was Padlet. That was Padlet. So I think it's www.padlet.com. When you visit that website, you sign up. I think it's free. At least I use it for free, and you can create different boards. Let's say where you can name them depending on the theme, like today's lesson or teaching writing. And there is like a plus sign where you can post different content. It can be a video, it can be a link, it can be a photograph or even a recording. So Padlet is the one for them to upload their writing and then comment on each other's writing. They can leave a comment. They can write it or they can record themselves, if they feel like doing it. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Laura. I'm glad you found it helpful.
I feel like a lot of the things that you said online, Rachel, we instinctively knew some of them as teachers and online teachers, and it's so great to hear them in your session and to get that feeling of validation of, yes, good, I'm doing the right thing.
I don't know if it's the right thing. It's just, it's one teacher's opinion, and that's what we're all doing. We're all sharing experiences, and what worked, why not share it with others?
And what works exactly right. And it's very much in the spirit of the conference, because we were aiming with this conference to start the conversation of why online teaching is the better normal and how we can offer possibilities that, face-to-face instruction just can't afford just by nature. Inherently, online teaching can give us so much potential to make our lessons, to tailor them to our students' needs, to just center them around our students' needs. So I think what you said today makes perfect sense, and a big thank you from everyone, I'm sure.
And thank you for the feedback. I'm going to just show the references in case anyone wants to look something up. And thank you. And just if you want to connect with me, the only Rachel Tsateri on LinkedIn, I'm sure, and my blog, The TEFL Zone, where I share reflections about teaching and training.